for stuff to collect or to sell. Flea market, strip stores, and even Craigslit. I even been on a journey into hell, out to get the items on my wicked wish list. Video games, collectibles, and rare VHS. I look high and low and get kinda dirty. It don't matter if the store has a mess. All in my quest to find stuff that is nerdy. Enough with the jingle, let's get down to the nitty gritty. Here's my video, I welcome your pity. Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yes I do. Vintage collectibles, vintage collectibles.
Hello everybody, my name is VHS and Media, and this is going to be my first video that I make for YouTube. Let me just say a little bit about myself. I like to collect VHS, I like to collect records, I like to collect cassettes, old CDs, I like to collect video games as well. So I go around to different places and I try to find things that I can either keep for myself or my own private collection, or things that I can maybe sell and let others enjoy. I find things on Craigslit, I find things at flea markets, I find things at garage sales, just anywhere where I can find things that are of interest to me or that might be of interest to others. So let me just show you some of the few things that I found the last 2-3 weeks, and some of the finds that I've had are rather common, but some of the others are what I consider at least somewhat interesting. So let me show you a couple of things. In fact, this is the first thing coming up. The first things I'm going to share with you are some VHS that I found in a lot. I got each of these for 50 cents. And normally for VHS, I don't like to pay more than $1, maybe $2, depends on the VHS and the condition, but I usually get them at the Goodwill or at flea markets. I usually just pay at Goodwill $1, but at the flea markets maybe a quarter for each one, maybe 50 cents. So these here that I have are Charles Bronson lot that I found. This one's Death Wish 5 in fact. The movie I haven't seen yet, but one I hope to get around to. The tagline for this movie is no judge, no jury, no appeals, no deals, which tells you where this franchise was headed, at least when this movie came out. The Face of Death, Death Wish 5. Besides this Charles Bronson gem, I also scored others, including this one, Breakout. This is a Good Times release, and I'm not sure when this movie came out. The movie itself apparently came out in 1975. Although this seems to be a 1989 print here, but it's a 1975 film with Robert Duvall and Charles Bronson. I have to watch this. I'm going to wait for Sunday morning to watch this one. This looks like a good one. I don't know. I'm a sucker, real big sucker for Charles Bronson. Another Charles Bronson flick here, The Mechanic. Love this cover. Something's blowing up in the background and Charles Bronson all suave and cool and what must be the best leather jacket circa 1976. And let me see, what else can I say about this. John Michael Vincent also appears on this one. Another movie I haven't seen, but one I'll get to. Believe it or not, all this violence in the back, man's holding a gun, walking away from what seems like people were killed and just violence and mayhem. This movie is rated PG. PG. I don't know if you can see there in the back. Rated PG. The rating systems of the ratings board was somewhat whack back in the day, and this is a heavier VHS too. 1984 CBS Fox print release. Let's see, besides that, oh, love this cover from my childhood. It's a Canon release, Assassination. Again, oh, there's a Canon down there. It's a Media. Canon up here. This one's rated PG-13. By the time this film was released, PG-13 obviously was already out. 1987 apparently, this movie here. The great Charles Bronson, Assassination. Also on my to watch list. Also from that Charles Bronson score, Murphy's Law. Love this cover, also from my childhood, another Canon release, and I remember very fondly visiting old video stores, mom and pop shops back in the day, back in the mid to late 80s, early 90s, and I remember very fondly this VHS was always up on the shelf. Never watched it as a kid. In fact, I still haven't watched it myself yet. But definitely we'll get to this one. Charles Bronson. Guy's a legend, isn't he? Another one I found. Some people out there don't like to collect cut boxes, and I myself don't mind. In fact, I kind of dig them because it reminds me of when they stood up on the shelves at the video store. And this one here, excuse the glare. This one here is Borderline from 1980. Apparently in 1980 there was a slew of films that centered on the border and immigration and people crossing illegally. I believe that Jack Nicholson's The Border is also from 1980. I believe the same year this film came out. If I'm not mistaken, this is 1980. Says 1983, but I could be wrong. 1980. The film is from 1980. And of course rated PG. Awesome. There was also a Telly Savalle movie from around the same time period. It's very similar, but hard case box. It's cut out, and apparently it was used to place them on the shelf of a video store. So I don't mind collecting these. Some collectors don't like them, but I've got no problem with it. It's that heavier VHS too. It smells like a lot of bad things. But so that was my Charles Bronson score of the week. I thought that was pretty cool. I got all of that for $3. That's 50 cents each. Can't beat that. Got another VHS for you. This one is a film that unfortunately I've seen too many times, and it's a film from my childhood as well. One that I recall watching, especially on Saturday mornings. Maybe I'm sure you've seen it as well. Ernest Goes to Camp. Oh gosh, all of those Ernest films. And there's what, 4 or 5. There's one about Christmas. There's one about Halloween. I can't recall the others, but they each get progressively worse. This was a Touchstone home video release. I picked this one up at the Goodwill. I paid $1 for this gem. $1. Love how they used to have this oversized cutout here back in the day. Not sure. Isn't that awful? Just comes right off. Just comes right off. Goes to show you have to be careful with your things. Ernest Goes to Camp. Let's see. Besides that, I've got a few more things to share with you. So I ended up putting a small piece of tape on that. I don't want to lose the label, especially not on a gem like this. Ernest Goes to Camp. Make sure you take care of those labels. So anyway, just want to share that with you, but let me get back to the rest of my findings. So I was driving around and I was looking for a new place to try to score some VHS or some video games or a couple of CDs, maybe some LP records. And apparently there was this Salvation Army store that I never really gone into. So I decided to check it out, and in the back they had their old VHS, and like they do everywhere else, everyone just kind of stores them there, and they're dusty and they're forgotten, and no one pays them much attention. But obviously I do, so dive right in there, and there wasn't anything spectacular, but they had a slew of 90s action movies that I, for 50 cents, I had to pick them up. I couldn't just leave them there like orphans. Picked them up, and honestly I haven't seen any of these yet, but they're on my to watch list, especially now that I just got a VCR as well. So got that VCR because the one I had previously broke down. So now that I have a working VCR, I can watch some of these just awful movies. This one Kick or Die. And not much to say about this other than it's the ultimate kick fighting machine. Kick or Die. I'm sure it's a great 90s action movie. This one here, I've found a couple. I already sold several on eBay. And I kept one for myself. Lady Dragon, starring Cindy Rothrock, which she apparently made several movies back in the day, and apparently she was somewhat well known in the action world, at least in the B movie action world. 1992. This is Imperial Entertainment Corporation, Lady Dragon. If you're interested in buying this one, hit me up. We'll see. This one I liked for several reasons. First of all, I used to see it all the time at the video store, and it features an actor. This man here in the middle, believe his name is Martin Cove. Am I mispronouncing that? Anyway, he's a bad guy from The Karate Kid. If you remember The Karate Kid, he was the sensei that was terrorizing Daniel LaRusso and telling his students to kind of play dirty on Daniel. And apparently he made several films post The Karate Kid, and this being one of them, Firehawk. This is from Live Home Video, and this one is from 1992 as well, and you can see some images from some movie stills from the movie there, and there he is with I believe it's a submachine gun or something. Gotta watch this. Got some more. The great, the legendary Lorenzo Lamas in CIA, codename Alexa. PM. What is this? PM Home Video. O.J. Simpson, Lorenzo Lamas, and Kathleen Kinmont. O.J. Simpson's getting equal billing with Kathleen Kinmont. 1992 was a bad year for O.J. Simpson, apparently. A couple of years later, he would go on his rampage and, well, anyway, let's stop there. But that's O.J. Lorenzo Lamas, CIA. My last one here that I have from this score, also starring that same actor from before, from The Karate Kid and from Firehawk, also stars in this one. Let me show you that. Not the glare. This one is titled "To Be the Best." Reminds me of that song from The Karate Kid. It stars also Martin Cove, Michael Worth, Stephen Vincent Lay. They were forced to be the best or die. One of those awful taglines from the 90s, aren't there? Also from PM Home Video. So if you're interested in this or any of the other ones, I might trade you, or in fact, just let me know and we'll see if we can work something out. The condition of these are also not so bad for their age, from 1992, so they're over 20 years old now. So the condition's not bad at all. To be the best. I'm going to show you the video itself, the VHS itself. Here you go. So, got those for 50 cents. Couldn't pass them up. Add them to my collection for sure. I got a couple more here that I'll share with you. This one I bought for a good friend of mine. It's the New Kids on the Block, Hanging Tough VHS. Pretty common. Very cheesy. However, she's a fan of NKO TV, so I had to get it for her. Picked that up. I think I paid $1 for that at the Goodwill. That's 50 cents too much if you ask me. The Goodwill also, that same visit, I found this from Eric Stoltz, Don't Look Back. Might be selling this one on my eBay store, only because I'm not a fan of Eric Stoltz, and I don't really care much for the cover. I don't remember it, and I don't have any ties to it, and I don't think I'll like the movie very much. I'm not saying it's a bad movie, I just don't think I like it. It's not. So I'm gonna try to sell it to what I can get for it. Maybe a trade, get it for something else. So if any of you are interested, Eric Stoltz, Don't Look Back. I see that these HBO movies sell somewhat on eBay at least. So I've sold several in the back and in the past, I should say. Let's see. Besides that, I've got a couple more things I want to show you here. Picked up also at a garage sale a couple of video games. I want to show you two of them. I don't have a Super Nintendo, but 50 cents for Pilot Wings. I played this a couple of times 20 years ago, and I'm not much of a gamer, but I've played a couple of games here and there, and I remember this one because it seemed to be one of the earlier titles for the Super Nintendo, and I remember one Saturday night just visiting a friend's house, and he had a Super Nintendo, so we were playing Pilot Wings. I don't remember much about it other than that we were playing it. So for 50 cents, I'm gonna try to see if I can sell that. And I got some throwaway titles and Ken Griffey Jr. Baseball for 50 cents. Can't pass that up. Haven't tested these yet because I don't have a Super Nintendo. But when I do, I'll be able to test them. Anyway, Ken Griffey is one of my favorite players from back in the 1990s, so I picked it up because it's Ken Griffey. Even though I don't think I'll ever play that. A Madden game, which I'll pass. I can't stand those Madden games. But I also scored this Wizard of Oz, which I was reading or watching the video review by the video game nerd, and he mentions this game and mentions it with such reverence or sarcasm. But he's playing that in one of his reviews, and I remember that when I saw it, so I picked it up and just to see if I could play it because I was trying to score myself a Super Nintendo, but that didn't go through. So now I'm gonna try to sell these in a lot on eBay and see what I can get for that. Some people like to buy and resell and price their things really high. I like to price things at a somewhat, I don't want to say normal, but at a just price. And as a collector myself, I like to be able to buy things not at an overpriced, really high, exorbitant price, but at a price that is fair, and that's what I try to do on eBay. So if you're interested in those, let me know as well. So I got these video games, got those VHS, a couple of CD-ROMs that I'll show you. Relentless Twinson's Adventure. These I do sell on eBay. I don't collect these and I don't play them. So I buy these for dollars and I sell them up on eBay. So if you're interested in these, let me know. Relentless. Never seen that before. This one I got it because it intrigued me. Word Munchers. CD-ROM. It looks educational. It looks like something that I would have played in 6th grade, but it came out in 1991. Oh yeah, I definitely would have played this in 6th grade. I was in 6th grade in 1991. There you go. So Word Munchers. It seems very educational and very, very mint condition. Another one that I scored for $1, and not sure if it's educational as well, though it very, very well might be. Dinosaur Adventure 3D. And you can see there it reads, the all-new version, the #1 kids dinosaur software program. It's got a neat cover. For Windows 98. So that gives you a time reference of when it was released. So I scored these as well at the Goodwill for $1, and I do well with those. I do well selling those on eBay, and I like to price my items at a fair price, and only because I'm a collector myself, and I like to find things that I enjoy, and I'm not gonna pay too much for any of these things. So if any of these things interest you, please let me know. Last thing I'm gonna show you, which I found was great. Astral World is this amusement park that was over in Houston, Texas back in the, well, it closed down, I believe it closed down in the late 90s, but if I'm not mistaken, it opened sometime in the 60s or 70s, and it was around for 20, 30 years, and I live close to Houston, so I know about it. I believe it used to be a Six Flags theme park. It's tied with that franchise. I'm not sure if it is, and before it closed down, that is. But I was able to find these little picture viewfinders of Astral World. Two of them, they're tied together, and I found them at a flea market. They came inside another box of things that I bought there, and if you look inside, there's pictures of these people. What I believe must be the year 1983, judging by what they're wearing, judging by their wardrobe. It must be 1983. So I'm gonna try to sell this on eBay, see what I can get for them. I think they're cute. If I don't sell them, they'll look great in my collection of little knickknacks that I like to collect. And I'm trying to get me a wall of nothing but 1980s knickknacks with all sorts of things from the 80s, and this will look great there because of the color and because of what's inside the picture there. Let's see if you can see. Oh well, try to take a picture of it for you. So these I found there as well, and I found a couple of other things that I'll show you, and then just to kind of make this video short, I'll stop there, but I got one more thing to show. Okay, to kind of wrap up this first video that I'm making, I'm going to show you one thing that, one of the items that I like to purchase for specific resale on eBay, and that is Lennox Sound cassette players. Not particularly the Lennox Sound brands, but just especially these digital cassette players. I've sold in the past 2 months, I've probably sold 5 or 6. So these move very well for me, and to be perfectly honest, I've never bought the Lennox Sound brand before. It's usually the Panasonics, the Sonys, the Iowas, the Zeniths that I buy and I resell. But there's several going on eBay right now, and this one works. It sounds it works perfectly. It lights up nice and neat, and I'm gonna try to sell it on eBay, see what I can get for it. I think it looks great. I think it's totally 1990s, and I'm pretty sure I had something very similar to this 20 years ago when I was 13, rocking out to probably some Van Halen cassette or something. I know what I was rocking out to. In 1993, I was rocking out to Criss Cross on probably something like this. So a lot of people buy these for the nostalgic factor, or some people buy them because they have cassettes, and you can hook these up to your stereo, and you can listen to it through your speakers. So they work great, and I have one for me, and I collect for myself too. So some of these I buy them and I keep them because they're pretty neat and they look great on my shelf there. But this one I'm gonna try to sell, and it's great. It's Lennox Sound. It's digital with bass boost, and it's got the presets down here. You change your radio station. So again, my name is VHS Media. I like to go around town and find things, and sometimes I like to sell them, sometimes I keep them for me, and I've showed you some of the few things I've bought, and hopefully this is my first video, but I'm sure I'll make others, so stop by again. Thanks.